3 children in the district, 2 in high school, 1 in 6th grade. I didn't write a script. I just came tonight to support Dr. Hardy. She has been astronomical in helping my daughter in high school. When you think about it, everything from kindergarten leads to high school. Everything leads to what the kids are going to be doing after school, preparing them for life, and Dr. Hardy is essential to that. She has, as I said, helped my daughter, and in so doing helped my family, and I think she's very essential to the school, and I would ask that you would reconsider eliminating that position.
Hi, my name is Justin Levine. I graduated from the high school last year. And I think you can guess I'm here to convince you to reconsider eliminating the head of guidance position. I did not have Dr. Hardy when I first came into high school. I had another counselor, and I had no relation. In my junior year, I had to start being more serious about college applications and all of that. And what I've heard from other guidance counselors, I know students who weren't able to get into classes, whose guidance counselors didn't meet deadlines, didn't get applications in on time or scholarships. So there wasn't enough trust for me to continue on with any guidance counselor besides Dr. Hardy, who is the only person I know of all of my friends, of everyone I've known at the high school, who has had an exceptional experience with their counseling. And personally, I think it would be a huge mistake to get rid of her. As head of guidance, she oversees the other counselors among her own duties as a counselor. And I believe through osmosis, she has a positive impact on the department as a whole. And we've talked a lot about how we want to do what's best for the school. We don't want to harm any of the departments. And we say, perhaps we can use this as an opportunity to make the guidance department better. It's just not going to happen. You'll be very hard pressed to find anyone in any job who's as passionate about their job, cares as much, and is as good at their job as Dr. Hardy is. When it comes down to it, we treat this like a business decision. It's hard times, and there have to be cuts. But if you're getting rid of the head of guidance, yeah, you're going to save a lot of money. But if you cut Dr. Hardy as a person, not just a business decision, it's going to drastically hurt the department as a whole. And I don't see the high school getting any better by making that choice. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Linda Simpson. I have a couple of kids in the high school. One of them is a senior. I'm just going to touch on something a little bit different. I think one of the reasons why everybody's so passionate about what Dr. Hardy does and how important she is to the community is because she goes to a lot of effort to make the community involved with what's going on in the high school, parents, other people. So I'm just going to talk about a few of the supplemental things that she's been involved in that are actually not part of her job description at all. She was involved in bringing awareness of the whole Race to Nowhere campaign back in, I think that was 2012, and getting that film shown to parents so that we'd be aware of what was going on with that. And she was also responsible for the well-rounded global citizen movement that was in place at that time. She was involved in the creation of the Whole Child Task Force and survey that went along with that. She was deeply involved in the implementation of the no homework policy over Thanksgiving weekend, which still goes on to this day and everybody loves. She's been very involved in all the numerous book fairs at Fayette High School, the SAT and ACT boot camps, the Naviance program for parents, the interview skills workshop that was set up for 10th graders, and the annual community service volunteer fairs that creates connections between the students and the community, and not just the community in Somers, but communities outside of Somers who come to our high school. So I think she has a far-reaching effect, not only in Somers, but outside of our community. I think that's really worth considering. Everybody respects her, people outside of our community respect her, and yes, her position is very, very important. Obviously, she's very important as a person too, and I think it would be a mistake to do away with her position and with her in that position. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Juliette Poulin, and I'm a senior at the Somers High School. So I wanted to start off by saying one of you had spoken about what cut would have the most minimal to no impact on students, and cutting the director of guidance would be a huge impact, especially for the seniors and juniors who are going through the college process. The director of guidance has the guidance and background that you want a director of guidance to have, or anybody who may fill a similar position. Some things I strongly ask you to reconsider the budget on is especially the technology in school. My tablet, to be completely honest, has been sitting in a desk drawer for the past 2 years, probably Our director of guidance picks up the slack that other counselors leave behind. She gets the work done. Additionally, she's there emotionally and is compassionate about her students. She is one of, if not the most remarkable members and directors in our school community. As many of the students have said before, if the school board cares so much about students, then talk to us.
So good evening, everybody. I thought I was batting cleanup, but I think that tonight what's really wonderful to me is to see this whole community come out and speak about Dr. Hardy in such loving terms. It really, for me, as a parent, seeing this happen and seeing such kids speak so articulately and from the heart, it really is inspiring to me. And I want to say that I had this whole thing prepared. I did some research online about Dr. Hardy. I found out some more information. Oh, my name is Anthony Perotti Jr. Sorry about that. And I had this whole thing prepared, and everybody already said it. So what I want to do is cut to the chase, because I know it's a late night. And I just want to say the last part of what I wanted to tell you is that believe in the voices of the students, parents, and staff, and listen to them deeply as they have articulated their feelings to you. Dr. Hardy identifies with the kids. She can relate to them in a very unique way, as you can see. She listens to them. Sometimes speaking is a great skill. Listening is a better skill. She believes in these students. You can see that, you know that, and implements change and adapts to our current society, which, as we all know, is a very difficult society that we're living in right now. On page 4 of the budget of 2015-16, it says a tri-state visit is planned for the February 2016 with a focus on how our district supports the whole child, academic, social, emotional, and physical development. Isn't that all about what Dr. Hardy has implemented over the last 7 years? It's so important and part of our culture at Somers that we actually put it in the budget of what is 2015-2016. But importantly, there's a mission statement in that budget. And the mission statement on page 1 says as follows: Somers Central School District will ignite a passion in each student by engaging students at a personal level to ensure success in a global society. If you want to achieve this goal, don't fire the person who is the igniter of the passion you so want to foster and achieve. And I thank you very much.
My name is John Winnicke. I'm not going to go in the same direction. What I understand from being in Somers for many, many years is the commitment that we have as students, as parents, as faculty, there's no question for me about that. The thing that I would like to know about, the certain things about the budget are clear. You're reducing, if enrollments are lower, then things will have to change, get it. But what I would ask, and what I would want to see, is that I would like to actually, I'm a business consultant, so it's really about change, things about innovation. And so I'd like to actually suggest and recommend is to go back to the teachers and find out, I like to know what their recommendations are. They're the ones that are in the programs every day and they're working with the kids. I'd like to see if there's a challenge, let them help solve that problem. And I'd like to see what their proposals are and see, why maybe reject or not reject it, but I'd actually like to see their proposals and see how they can come up with a creative way to help solve this problem. Thank you.
Evening, my name is Steve Harris. I have one daughter in the high school. I graduated an older daughter who's now in college, actually just finished up. 2 points. One is, from a personal perspective, I am so tired of hearing that the CPI is the fault of where we are year after year after year on these budget discussions. The state put that policy into effect. We saw it coming down the road. And this administration and prior ones have just kicked the can down the road again and again. There was a stat up on one of those slides that said we're about to lose, I think, 100 students and then another 80. But before that, we've lost 300 or 400 over the last 10 years. We're looking at a budget that's almost twice as big as it was in 2001, yet our enrollment is 10% lower. The reason the state found it necessary to impose this CPI tax levy issue is illustrated by one of the second or third slides Mr. Crowley put up. It's the way budgets used to be done and they're still done. We start with this year's budget, we roll over next year, assuming we would spend everything that we spent this year, and then we identify a, quote, gap that we need to make up for. No consideration of enrollment or the impact of, I guess, other issues. It's just, this is what we started with, this is where we're going, how are we going to make up the difference? And to that extent, I would respectfully disagree with the comment that board or the administration acts like, quote, any other family with expenses and such. That's not how families budget. Point 2. I am so proud and amazed by the students that had the courage and the wisdom that they shared with us all here tonight. They see firsthand the impact of a teacher or an administrator in their school. But what I heard tonight with this IB proposal that's being rolled out supposedly at the loud and clear demand of the community, which I never heard or saw, is that it's based on a philosophy of multiculturalism, and that we think it has the potential to have the impact on more students than are actually enrolled in it. Basically speculating and navel-gazing about the potential value of a program that I'm not sure where it came from or why we needed or wanted. But we can contrast that with the impact on the students who have been touched by somebody like Mrs. Hardy in an existing program. So I would suggest to you, respectfully, table this IB thing. Figure out going forward how we're going to deal with this repeating issue. We'll be here again next year saying, boy, gas prices went down and CPI is this boogeyman that we have to deal with, and 6 to 12 more full-time employees have to be left up. This is going to play itself out every year for the foreseeable future. Let's not push something up in here called the intellectual baccalaureate program, because it might have a potential impact on far fewer students than the ones that were here today and expressed how they were.